about to show you a video that continues to prove to me that my black friends' parents growing up were always right when they would never allow their child to go anywhere with a group of white friends by themselves. Watch this video and then we'll talk about it. I'll just say viewer discretion is advised.
What you gonna do, Audrey?
No, bro, I'm really about to kill this bitch.
What you gonna do?
No, where can we hide her body at? That ass, I'm slow.
What is you finna do?
Oh my god, you try to leave this house, bitch, and I'm gonna drag you by your fucking hair, bitch. Audrey, talk all that shit that you was talking over the phone. Talk it now, talk it now. Fuck. Bitch, shut up. Shut the fuck up. No, cause this bitch, I want her to fight. I want her to bitch, shut your mouth. Shut up.
The young woman on the bed is Audrey Masaric. She's pregnant in that video, but nobody knows it yet. Her friends invited her over and they proceeded to get drunk. She has epilepsy that alcohol exasperates. She has a number of other challenges in her life that alcohol also complicates. And her friends know all of this, and they encouraged her to get drunk. And once she was good and well drunk, they continued to force feed her alcohol to the point that she couldn't handle anymore. And then they proceeded to do what you saw in that video, holding her against her will, talking about burying a body and continuing to beat her. Eventually, she was able to escape to a neighbor's house where they called paramedics, took her to the hospital where she was 3 times the legal limit. She remembers none of this. This occurred more than 9 months ago. 2 weeks ago, she gave birth to a baby girl. And now this video surfaces, and, well, she's seeking to pursue charges. You can read Audrey's own words about that situation, and that night right here, you can pause it. I'll pull myself out of the way here. And if you're interested about the other young women in that video, there's their names as well, found by somebody who was able to track them down. Women in that video, you can read Audrey's own words about that situation, and that night right here, you can pause it. I'll pull myself out of the way.
I had to, you can't clear the display. I don't know what's going on with TikTok, but lately you can't repost, you can't, controversial videos like this, you can't repost it. You can't barely comment. You know, as a black woman growing up, this scenario has happened multitude of times, and for it to be now, I grew up in the 80s, right? Born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s, and my grandmother used to tell me all the time, honey, she from Mississippi, used to tell me all the time, I don't want you alone with white people. Now, we go to school. Segregation had happened a long time before we started school, right? So I had white friends, still do. When I was in junior high, I used to want to go across the street from my grandmother's house to this, this white friend. And her grandmother, she stayed with her grandmother, and her grandmother was a sweet woman, but she was still white. I never forget. I've been going over there for the last, 4 years, and my grandmother would make sure that I made it over there okay, made it back. Couldn't stay over there long, honey. But one particular time, I go over there, the girl's parents is there. And I met the mom. The mom was drunk. And the dad came out the room. He was drunk. The grandmother wasn't there. It was just the daughter and the parents. Now, I had never been called the N-word before. And I was 12, 13 years old at the time. First time I ever been called the N-word was by her daddy, who had just gotten out of prison. Grandmother came home. And I went over to his house a multitude of times. Grandmother even fed me over there. Her and my grandmother got along very well. Grandmother came home, saw the two parents. We sitting at the dinner table or the little kitchen table. And I don't remember if she heard the man call me the N-word and then the mama followed up. Because I had met the mama a multitude of times. And she had never called me out my name. But like I said, the father just got out of prison. And I don't know if the grandmother came home and she heard him call me the N-word, or I told her that he did it, or she just immediately went into flight mode. Because soon she walked through that house, through the living room into the kitchen, she said, "Come on, baby." This old white woman, beautiful white hair. She said, "Come on, baby." And I didn't know what had just happened. I mean, this man was as racist as all get out. I really, truly believe in my spirit, and I would never forget that moment. That if she didn't take me from that situation, there's no telling what that mama would have allowed him to do to me. Because I still remember the girl's name. I almost said it. She just sat there. Now, I'm not friends with her anymore. After that day, her and I never spoke again. I've seen her on social media, and she's just like her father. But I didn't know that growing up, because she never was like that. She went to a black junior high. So, anywho, the grandmother walks me home across the street. She's holding my hand, and she said, "Baby," I still remember this like it was yesterday. She said, "Baby, I'm sorry you had to go through that, or that you went through that. That would never happen again. You would never see that man again." And I don't think I ever went back over there. But if I did, it was maybe once, and I never saw that man again. So the stories of my grandmother telling me all the horrible things that white people done from when she was a child, and protecting me and my cousins from that experience, that has been, aside from maybe one time on social media, but out of the almost 50 years that I've been on this earth, that was the only time, and the first and only time I've ever been called the N-word to my face. And it didn't turn me to be a racist. I still don't hate white people or anyone that's not black. That'll never be me. I wasn't raised that way. I'm raised to love thy neighbor. I'm raised as if the way God wants all of his children to be. But that grandmother who grew up the same era as my grandmother, she always treated me with respect. She always took care of me while I was in her home. And I always, after that day, because I never saw her, I never saw her again. I always wondered and hoped and prayed that she was okay. But I never could understand why I couldn't go spend the night over white people's houses, or anybody's houses, really, growing up. Because my mother, she just protected me. To this day, she still protects me. And I'm almost 50 years old, and my mother still protects me. Even around my own people, she protects me. But I never could understand until I started hearing stories and seeing these videos like this. I never could understand why somebody would pretend to care for you only to hate you, only to truly hate you. I never can understand how someone could lie to your face and hate you behind closed doors. And even at almost 50, I still don't understand it. But I hope and pray that baby is okay that this young lady had. And I hope and pray that those ladies, and I can't even call them ladies, those females, are shown accountability. Because what they did in this video was disgusting. It was bullying. It was coward. It was cowardness. And what is her name? Audrey. I don't know where her mother and father are, but if that was my baby and my grandbaby, there wouldn't be nothing on earth or heaven or hell that would stop me from making sure they got their accountability. I don't know what Audrey said prior to this, but it doesn't matter, because even though I didn't know she was pregnant at the time, she's still a human life. That was disgusting. And if you are bold enough to record yourself, then you bold enough to take accountability and whatever comes with it. So hell yeah, I'ma share it. But in 2026, it is really sad that we still have to watch our backs. And this right here is a prime example of why you should always stay woke. So when these people out here want to be against being woke, this is a prime example of why you should always remain woke. Because I can guarantee you there was little hints that Audrey may have missed that would have shown her that these girls were not true friends. And to never be alone with people like that. They need to own up to their own accountability. And sometimes it takes public outrage to do so. So hell yeah, I'm posting it. Stay woke. And they say keep your enemies close or your friends close and your enemies closer. Sometimes you gotta stoop to their level too. That's all I'm gonna say later.